how not to care. How not to care about what other people think. Behind the screen, in real life. How to be loose and, I don't give a fuck about what they think. How do you do this? This is something I even ask myself sometimes. How do I do that? I don't know. Perhaps it's the autistic side of me that is really not wired in a way that I will give a crap about what other people think about me. It's not the first thing that comes into my mind. But I have this little, disorder in me that is not at all autistic or neurotypical. It's really triggered by stuff, and this is my sensitivity, this is my disorder, whatever you want to call it. I don't even want to name it anymore because it goes like this, and sometimes I'm borderline and sometimes I'm bipolar and sometimes I'm just very emotive. So I don't fucking care now about this label. I know that when I'm all clean, I'm still really an autistic person. Getting my official diagnosis very soon. Thank you very much. I still have a non-official diagnosis by a psychiatrist, but it was non-official, and now I am getting one, so very happy about it. I know that it has consequences, but still, this is good, and it explains a lot. But I still have all those little labels that people used to call me, used to diagnose me with. I am very well aware that it's very hard sometimes on this part of me to not care about what other people think. So let me tell you about what's happening in this side. So first of all, let's just set the mood. Maybe this will help you not to care in the future, I don't know. But nobody cares about you. It's a very hard pill to swallow, right? But it's true. I think I've already talked about like the main character energy, stuff like this. But it's kind of this, like, people are all their own main character in their story, like their lives. They are the main character. So there might be gossip, there might be laughters, there might be criticism. This will be always the case. It will always exist. And how society doesn't this exist? It exists. You just have to accept it. If you don't accept it, then you're fighting with something that will never be, even in subgenres and kind of underground scenes, you have this. Like, even in the purest militant activist, you have this. You have this. She made this. It was problematic. They did this, and I don't think that they really, are into whatever topic this is. Even in the purest scene, the scene that is the most relatable to you, there will be gossip, whatever this is. So I think that you have to accept it, because it will be a very long journey if you don't even start to accept that this exists. And what makes it a bit easier is to say that, okay, this exists and this exists, but in this big bullshit of gossip, I am just a little part of it. I am not like the center. Or if you're the center, it's because like people give you a lot of importance, and I will come back to this later, but feel that you're a bit like, most of all, like the main character in a way, which is kind of a bit contradictory because they are their own center. So if you are the center of their life, it's kind of weird. And truly, it doesn't really exist. It's not true. Like, even the people who gossip the most, they have their thing. They listen to the music, they're walking down the street, they are not thinking about you. They're thinking they're a movie star walking. I know I do this, but I know that I'm not the only one. When they are, in their thought like this, they are not thinking about you. They are in their stories. So what you need to focus on is, first of all, it will always exist, and also mostly no one cares. No one cares about you. You're just a tiny, tiny little, I don't even want to say star, but maybe star, because sometimes like you brighten the day, and if you brighten the day, it's because they must get life. This is what you should think. If they give so much energy into talking about you, is that they don't have a life? Is that they bored at this point? I don't know. But I dealt a lot with this kind of shitty thing during, I want to say, 10 years. I felt I was really observed, and at one point I thought that I was a bit paranoid. But then I heard some stuff, and I know that I wasn't totally paranoid. But anyway, this didn't really help me. Didn't help my mental health. But yeah, I know that I was observed like this. And when you know that someone is even observing someone else, and you're standing next to this person and you hear them, just bitching on someone, you must know that they are doing to yourself. And this is why you start to care a bit more for what people think, because you know that those people can totally do it to you. So I understand, but remember that deeply, they don't care. They don't give a crap, because they think only about themselves. You have to make a difference between wanting people to love you and caring about what random people think, random people opinion. When you're wanting people to love you, it's because you're giving them a bit more attention. This is kind of the people pleaser, I think, area. I'm not an expert about it, but I think it's kind of a people pleaser attitude. But when it's really something that is linked to someone that you love, you have to remember that, firstly, if there are healthy relationship to you, there are, it's not supposed to go this way. It's not supposed to be like this, like you don't have to fear them, it's weird, because having this type of thoughts, like you're really fearing that people would say, gossip, laugh about you, it's a bit like you're scared of those people. And if it's people that you love, it's not normal. Like it's really toxic in a way. But if they do, because there will always be laughter, disagreements, stuff like this. Even if they do, they're still your best friend, but you don't have to agree on everything. Just keep to yourself that you cannot control them. It's like this. You cannot control what other people are thinking. So if one day you come to a party, you are wearing this dress that you find it very, very pretty, it's a bit short, but very, very pretty, and you have a friend that is a bit more modest, and she's thinking, whoa, she's going short tonight. It's an example, and it's coming from nowhere, really. Let me tell you, it's coming from nowhere. But if there is this situation, well, this friend loves you. You know, it's valid that she has her opinion and she can have this crossing her mind, you know. She has the right to think that. So you cannot control. And this is not because they are thinking this, that it's bad. Sometimes comparison is not all bad. Sometimes it's a bit like, you know, sometimes it's not envy, and this is why also I made a video about what is copying, what is jealousy. There's a very thin line, but you know, sometimes you're caring about what other people think, but people are just comparing, and it's human to compare because we are living among a lot of people, so it will be very narcissistic to think that we're the only one, and you never glare to someone else. You never glare at, you know, how her apartment is compared to you, how, you know, she is handling her relationships compared to you. It's human. So it's not because they are thinking that they are criticizing what you do. So you don't have to care that much. You can care, like, you can have intuition, you know. This is also human. Is it gonna change your life? I don't think it is. So the thought of yours, you know, asking yourself question about it, it's more draining your energy that it's really doing good, and it doesn't have any purpose in a way. This person still loves you. And if it's just a random person, then we go back to they don't care in a way. And this leads me to say that we should analyze what are our triggers there. What triggered you? Is it from social? Is it a post that you saw, a story that you saw, that you thought it was directed pointing at you? Is it a facial expression? This is something that is often current for me. That's a facial expression because I have a hard time to read sometimes. So since I was very young, I understand that I had to focus a lot on facial expression. So now I'm a bit like burnout. It's difficult sometimes to read people, and anyway, that's another issue. If it's a post on Facebook, if it's a message, just try also to set the context. Is it out of the blue? Is this person in a good mood these days? Did something happen to this person? What's the context? Does this really need to impact me? Is it really, you feel like it's pointing at you, but is it really? And if so, why does it impact me so much? If it impacts you, it's because you feel like it's a bit true. You agree with it a bit. So for this part, you need to go through therapy, to do some shadow work, whatever you want to do, journaling. You need to work a bit more on it, because this is something that you don't want to admit, but you are a bit agreeing with this. And you feel like you're pointing out. You feel like it's you. And so it's difficult not to care because you think that it's you. But you think that it's you because you recognize yourself in it. And this totally biased, like, we create in our minds something, like really recreate total drama, and we think that those people are judging you, but in the end, the person who is judging you is you. Only you. Sometimes not. Sometimes we have good intuition. We learn a bit later that people are bitching on our back. Sometimes it happens. It's life. Again, it's life, guys. And this is something we cannot avoid it. We cannot avoid it. So, yeah. But sometimes it's also a lot in our minds. And why is it in our minds? this is the question that you have to analyze. Why did it trigger you? You have to ask a lot of questions. And sometimes the fact that just asking yourself question will take you some few minutes, just to step back a bit, like you saw something often on your phone, you put your phone away a bit, you think about it, you ask yourself, this is what I do, like for maybe 3 years I've been doing this for the biggest triggers. Like I put my phone away and I'm like, okay, not feeling well. What's the problem? What's the problem? What happened? Because it's very difficult sometimes to know this was about this. There's a lot of things that I've seen. If you're on social media, you've seen a lot, you scrolled, or you've seen a lot of stories, or there was a lot of information. You don't think so, but there's a lot of information. There's visual, there's thing that is written, there's videos, there's photos. I'm not gonna say it all. There's a lot of information for your brain to take in. So sometimes you don't know why you're feeling down, and so you just have to distance yourself a bit, then ask yourself, why am I feeling bad? What happened? Okay, and then chronologically, you're just gonna go, just like if you lost your keys, what did I do? Like step by step. And then firstly, the girl who you don't know, the girl, guys, I don't know, who's posted stories and you didn't know if it was towards you or not, leave it. You don't know if they have something to say. They say it to yourself. If it's mysterious message like this, you don't have to give a crap about this. You mute them. Like, in doubt, block, mute, whatever you want to do, restrain, whatever you want to do, put it out. You don't know, in doubt, didn't feel very good, just go away. And in a way, now you know, this is the thing that triggered you. And you see, in all this mess of big information, you just know what it is. And then when you spot it, then you can think, am I going to do something about it or not? If it's someone very close, then you can handle it however you want. So what you can do is analyzing it, detach yourself from them, really asking you, who are they for you? Are they bringing food into your mouth? Are they helping you breathing? Is it very important to care for them? Often, no. No. So first, if you set all this down, gives you less and less of, panic attack. I am not giving into the crap of all pain is necessary, it makes you stronger, blah blah blah, because no, our traumas didn't make us stronger. Our trauma broke us inside, and our progress makes us stronger. Okay, let's settle it once and for all. But yes, it make you suffer this, trigger, panic sensation when you care. You suffer from it, all right? Then I think that because you suffer from it, you should try to change it and really deeply feel it and takes it, because it's some energy. Like this energy you develop into this much panic, you can so much use it for something else. You can escape from all of this. So you can use this energy light that you found in your panic, I know that, I really know, and this is why also this doesn't replace any therapy, but I know that if you're lightly anxious, really, because if you're really, really anxious, I'm not a therapist, I'm not going to help you with this video, but if you're slightly anxious, and you feel this, you can totally feel this. What are they gonna think about me? You're carrying a lot. Use this sensation in order to create something else, like a little, I don't know, like it's gonna help you jump. So you're not gonna have to do a big jump right out of nowhere from the start. Like, you're not gonna try this funky new outfit in a party if you're panicking about what other people think. No, this is not gonna be your first step. But your first step can be when you're with one or two persons saying something that you don't know what they're gonna do. The other day because I really had a big down lately, and the other day I was with two friends, and I, less crowd also, and I thought I wanted to say something funny. For me, it was a bit funny, and I was like, really caring when you. Actually, I never have some problems to speak. Like, this is why it's difficult for people to think I'm shy and I don't like to, speak in front of each other, doing a public speech and everything, because I can handle social situation quite easily, because if you talk to me, I will talk to you. But sometimes it's difficult, and sometimes I'm a bit frozen. And this situation when you're about to say a joke and you're kind of scared that no one is gonna say something. Like, this moment when someone says something and then that is supposed to be funny and people are just thing like a blank, like really silence, very awkward silence. I am very scared of this, and it's not even like showing myself, it's something that is quite small, but it kind of impacted me if it happened. And I tried this. Really, I didn't thought I could. I don't know. I don't even remember the joke. The joke wasn't problematic at all. It was just kind of me saying something a bit stupid, or I don't remember the joke, but it was kind of funny. But if people are not in the mood, it could have been like a bit like poo-poo joke. Anyway, so I said it. And then one of them just repeated and laughed. And so the other one laughed too. And I was like, oh, this went well. I know that perhaps it was a bit pity laugh, but it was nice, actually. And I didn't thought it would go this way. I don't know why. I made so much a thing about it, So, yeah. And so this is one of the first step, because then you can, then it's showing out maybe with a shirt of a band that I am talking about the alternative scene. Maybe only 3 songs and not more. So you're kind of scared of being a poser, stuff like this. I had this. Really, I had this fear. It's really a thing that we women experience in the metal scene, that we have to know everything. But now I really don't fucking care, because I am in the mindset that perhaps I don't know all the songs, like I don't remember all the titles, but I know enough to know this little obscure band, So if I don't know those 3 songs, don't judge me. because I actually can tell you what the cover of the album can look like. Maybe I don't remember the titles, but I can tell you this is the album with, I don't know, the tree looking like this. This is the album with the red, cover. This is, it's kind of thing like this. So, I was kind of scared being a poser and doing stuff like this. Now I don't fucking care about this, but I know this. And this is, step after step. Firstly, find people to try those little things, to try with them. When you're with comfortable people, then you can also extend a bit more, physically, the outfits. And then I think for me, it's the last step, because for me, it's more, I don't know, showing myself to a concert with a shirt of an obscure band and thinking people will think I'm a poser is less important for me than showing myself on social media doing something. Like, I took singing lesson lately and I did some stories. I don't want to make a reel. For now, I'm not good enough to do a reel. No, even if I had some very nice comments, I know I'm not good enough. But I did some stories. And for me, doing some stories was like the really upscale of not caring about what other people think. So, there's little steps after steps. And now that I'm not feeling good, I cannot post stories anymore. I'm back at, number one. So it's kind of suck. But I know I can do it. I did it once. I can do it again. And so can you. Yeah. So I hope this video helped you about, how to not care about what other people think. What you really have to remember is that anyway, something that is obvious is that when you know your worth, when you know how valuable you are as a person, the inside is always visible on the outside. So of course, you will have some haters. It's not possible not to have haters. Success always comes with hate, it's always like this. If everyone loves you, it's that you're not doing something right. Okay. But it's if you know what you are, who you are, the only person who is really judging you is yourself. So in the end, if you are judging yourself as competent, as, with a very big potential, then who cares? Not you. You don't care about them. No. This is over 2025. You is putting this on the side. You don't care anymore. And if it's very difficult for you, and I will not tell this enough, you can seek mental health support. It's very important. Sometimes just take your meds can be a life changer. I am not encouraging having like ton of meds, and not trying something else. But I know I am very self-aware that we need sometimes a bit of help medically. And so if you suffer from this, it's important that you take care of this, as well as listening to my tips. But if my tips don't help, then I think you can dig a bit in another direction, and that's totally okay. So thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Tschüss.